thanks for tuning back in for another video here at Godspeed ZRZ. Now, if you watched my last video, you guys got to see the Colorado ZR2 with the Rubicon 392 takeoffs that we just put on. Of course, my dad's in town here for a couple more days, so I wanted to give you guys my honest opinion on this truck, especially with these new tires considered. I really think it changed it more than most people would imagine, more than I even thought it would do. Now, the 33s you guys saw on the Rubicon, they just looked way too small from the factory. The fender well's way too big, especially once you take off the two end caps on the three-piece bumper. With the similar look on this, especially with that aggressive styling, once you put these bigger tires on there now, it really fills it up. Now, this one does have a 1-inch leveling kit on top of the ZR2 factory suspension. So aside from that, it's pretty much stock. The fitment would almost be a little bit too tight if we didn't have that leveling kit on this one already. I had seen a post of a guy running these tires on stock suspension, and he had been complaining about a bit of rubbing, but with that 1-inch leveling kit, there's been no problems at all. I could sit here and talk about this thing for forever, guys, but I'm sure you already know plenty about it. 2.8 liter Duramax diesel motor in it. Of course, front and rear lockers, live axle in the back, independent suspension in the front. Now, you guys already know about this thing, so I'm not gonna go too crazy, but of course, we've got the 285 70 R17s on now, the takeoffs from the Rubicon. And you guys tell me if I'm crazy, but I swear from this angle right here, if someone was to show me a picture, I'd say that is a Ford Raptor. I swear, especially with the snowflake style wheels, it looks really good. Now, the fitment, you guys can see here, with that ZR2 styling on the front bumper, it gives you that great approach angle. Make sure you could hit any rocks before you were to hit, or you could hit the rocks on the tire before you were to hit anything else. It opens it up great. Very similar to how the Rubicon is opened up once you take off those end caps on the three-piece bumper here. So the styling for me is absolutely amazing on these ZR2s first and foremost. But aside from that, if you're really paying attention, you'll look and you'll see these multi-dynamic valve spool dampening suspension. So the shocks on these are absolutely amazing, guys. I swear, the harder you drive it, the faster you drive it, the better it handles these bumps and stuff. It's pretty crazy. But you guys have seen the outside of these. You know what they look like. This one's a little bit taller, of course. It's got the 1-inch leveling kit on top of the factory ZR2 suspension. But as you can see here, guys, I mean, it looks mean, especially with the ZR2s with those little with the wide body flares on them. It looks awesome. And the fitment from the back, it pokes out just enough now to give you that kind of aggressive look. But anyways, let's just jump inside, take it down the road, and see what I really think. So just jumping in this thing, guys, you can already tell a massive difference, especially from what I'm used to. Now, with these mid-size pickup trucks, especially the off-road oriented ones, they're different. They're all a little unique, you know, and the ZR2 is one of the most unique ones that there is right now. So with the wide body styling, with the aggressive front end, the aggressive approach angle that front bumper gives you, exposing that full tire from the front, it looks like something else going down the road. And another thing I will add, if you look at this one and you're like, man, that one just looks right for some reason. One of the biggest things that they have, or that my dad had done to this one, was literally just that AVS front shield. That little shield looks, I mean, it just pulls the whole truck together. It looks like it should have been there from the factory. Aside from that, the only things done to this one is just a front end leveling kit, and then the 285 70 R17s off of the Rubicon. Just diving in, guys, it feels great. Like, it's so smooth compared to what a Jeep is, and that's what I'm used to driving right now. You don't feel the road. Of course, it's got the awesome BF Goodrich KO2s, so that's an amazing tire in and of itself. But put it with this truck, oh my gosh, it's like you're riding on a cloud. And it seems like the faster you hit these bumps, the faster that multi-dynamic valve spool dampening, those shocks just absorb all of that. Now we're still dealing with a live axle in the rear, and it's actually got leaf springs. It's not even coil springs, guys. So for it to ride like this with an empty bed, it's pretty crazy. It feels great. It really does. Now the 2.8 liter Duramax that this one has in it, they're not the fastest. It's only like 186 horsepower, but I do believe it has like 369 foot-pounds of torque. So for this little truck, that's a fair amount of torque. It feels really good. And the towing capabilities, they're right on par with the Rubicon Gladiators. I mean, that's pretty impressive. It is a little bit smaller of a truck, it seems like overall, and the width feels about the same. It really does, but you know, the mid-size trucks are just a little misleading. Once you get on the inside, they make it feel a little bit smaller. But being in that upper 70, I guess 7,800 range, maybe 7,900, knocking the door on 8,000 pound towing capabilities on a mid-size truck is pretty impressive. Now, what it really comes down to is not the power on these trucks at this point. It's really just the overall weight, the size of the truck, and the stopping power that it has. So it's not gonna help you stop any better, which is gonna decrease your towing capabilities. Just like my Power Wagon, I had bought the 2018 Power Wagon and fixed it up a little bit, just like 35s, and straight piped it and all that stuff. But the towing capabilities were only like, I think 12,000 pounds, whenever the normal 6.4 liter with just 373 gears instead of the 14 gears I had, their towing capabilities were like 14,000 to 15,000 pounds. And it didn't really make sense. But once you add all this off-road oriented stuff, the shocks are dampened a little bit differently, so the suspension can actually articulate. Your gearing's reduced or heightened, however you want to say it, but your gearing's reduced, so you get those lower crawl speeds, more control, which in theory does help your towing. But the suspension's really just going to be your limiting factor, as well as the frame on these mid-sized trucks. But once you can get past that point, you can still fit just about anything you really need in the bed. Of course, it's not a full-size bed, but it gets most of the normal stuff done. I pulled my Can-Am Maverick 1000 around with my Rubicon on 40s with just the 3.6, and I pulled it around with this as well, and that was in southwestern Virginia. So we were going up crazy mountains all the time. And the 3.6 in my Rubicon, I think if it was stock, might have felt just as good as this did. Just to give you guys a reference, because the lack in horsepower, you don't really notice it unless you're going up and down hills. But whenever you are going up and down hills, pulling a side-by-side, I guess it's a 12-foot trailer, it can only weigh like maybe 1,500 pounds, and the side-by-side probably weighs almost 20-some hundred pounds loaded up. So it's not that much weight, but you can tell it's back there whenever you're going up hills, going down hills. It does hold back the weight really well, especially with the exhaust brake in these Colorado ZR2s. It is pretty aggressive for a little 4-cylinder. In terms of features, the ZR2s pretty much all come pretty well equipped, loaded out. Heated seats, you've got navigation, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all your basic stuff. They all have the sliding rear glass in the rear. It's manual, it is not motorized. And then you do have low range, and you do have the ability to manually select your gears as well. You do have terrain selection over here for 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low, and then you got your trailer brake controls as well. It's all a pretty good layout, something you should be used to if you're used to the GM products. Now, this is no speed demon, it's no speed freak. It does really good though. And another thing it does really well that you wouldn't expect is honestly the handling. So here we are on the road. Again, my voice is still pretty hoarse, so I'll try to shut up, but give you an idea how it goes. So this suspension just absorbs everything. Of course, this is a freshly paved road now, but the handling around the corners, I mean, it feels so tight. It feels so controlled. It's so weird. It's like a little pre-runner or something. It's not the rock crawler that I'm used to driving. This really does kind of feel like a pre-runner style. Now, this is foot to the floor. You can see the speed. That's pedal to the metal, but they're not the fastest. They're very torquey, so I think going from 0 to 40, it's pretty good. Nothing crazy, but it's pretty good. And going around these tight curves here, guys, it just hugs, grips, and goes. It's really impressive. You wouldn't expect it, especially after the ultra dry height with the leveling kit, and then even the bigger tires. We added 2-inch bigger tires than what come from the factory, so you wouldn't think that it would handle it this well, but it almost feels better than it did stock. And I swear these tires and this suspension is just absorbing everything. It feels absolutely amazing. It really does. I'm blown away right now. Like, no steering wheel shake. This is hands-free. No steering wheel shake, nothing. Absolutely perfect. These new roads, guys, they make such a big difference. They grip so well, but you can really feel this thing, guys. I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. I swear it feels like a little pre-runner. It feels like a little Raptor. It should not be able to do that. What the heck? It feels so planted, so secure. It's so reassuring, confidence inspiring in a mid-sized truck. What the heck? Why is it like this? It turns around like nothing. That's butter. Whoa. Okay, the torque does kick in way more than you would expect. Okay, so we've been pedal down this whole time, just to give you an idea. Ooh, Genesis. I can sell you one of those. Dang. Pegged out again. My dad is not going to be happy whenever he sees this. My dad, just to give you guys an idea, if you saw the last video, he is the exact opposite of me. He does not torture his stuff. He babies it. He doesn't even drive this. He drives a 2004 Blazer that I bought off of my papaw for $1 back whenever I was in like middle school. He drives that to work every day instead of driving this. You can't tell from the camera, but this thing has not even been cleaned in, gosh, a while. But that top coat really does do a little bit of magic. Whoop. Hopefully you can see those birds. All in all, guys, in closing, this truck, it surprises you. It's more than what you think. For the price that it's at, for the capabilities it has, for the features it has, for the actual drivability it has, unlike most of the other vehicles, it's impressive. It's really impressive. The sound deadening on the inside is great. There's no tire hum, there's no vibration. It tracks absolutely perfect, absolutely perfect. The handling is precise as it can be. Guys, I really don't think it could get much better than this. I really don't. I think Chevy did an amazing job with this. Now, we all know if anybody has a mid-size truck figured out in terms of durability, how it's going to last, aside from Toyota, it's the S10. Everybody knows about the S10. We're talking about the same people that made the S10. The S10 ZR2. So I'm glad we got what we deserve, guys. This is what we deserve. This is awesome. And we'll give her a little rip right here, guys. Zero to 60 in now. Time that. As always, guys, take it easy. Give me some feedback. Let me know if you like this truck. If you like it, I'm thinking about really buying one and adding one just to what we have. I'm needing another practical-ish kind of vehicle, and this could like suit the bill. And I know the person that would be driving it, they would like it, so it would be cool. Let me know what you guys think. If you would like to see one of these on the channel, I'd like to go ahead and start looking for one here pretty soon. You know, Street Speed 717's buddy's got one, and he's done a few things to it, but now he's about to get something TRX, Raptor, this, that, who knows, he changes it every week, but he'll get something, and nobody's done one of these like stupid crazy, you know. If I do it, I'll put it on like 40s, so eventually. Oh, I forgot I said I needed to get a practical-ish. Well, we'll keep it practical-ish until we can get another practical-ish one. So like maybe get it and drive it like this for a few months, and like kind of how we're doing the Jeep, and then we could filter this in to where the Jeep's at for now, and then the Jeep could be the crazy one, and then if the YouTube videos are doing decent on this, we could just keep this one as another crazy one too. So this all depends on you guys. If you want this stuff, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense. But as always, guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff. And it's always interesting. We always do something a little different, so stay tuned. You may see a Camaro, a Corvette, a Challenger, a Hellcat, a 392 Wrangler, or a ZR2. Until next time, take it easy.